What's going on, everyone? So today we're going to look at this company called Evolv Technology, and they're planning on going public through this SPAC merger with NewHold Investment Corp. And I just want to show you this quick article because it summarizes what they do and some details about the merger, and then we'll hop over to the actual website to see the product so you can get a better idea on what this company actually does. And just remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Make sure to do your own research before making any investment. Essentially, this company, Evolv, is a AI touchless security screening. So if you've ever been to like the airports, a athletic event, you know the metal detectors, you walk through, it beeps. Well, they design a product that essentially you just walk straight through. It uses AI to sense you, and then pretty much if you have nothing harmful, you get right through on with your day. And then if you have some sort of weapon, it'll flag you and it'll basically make you get checked. And here is just some things they've done. Over 50 million people they've screened. And based off one of their videos, they stated that they found over 5,000 harmful weapons on people or objects. And here's some details about the company in terms of like their actual value. So you can see here, their enterprise value is approximately 1.25 bill with a total equity of approximately 1.7 bill. And their ticker symbol is EVLV. And that is what it'll be once they actually go public, which is expected in Q2 of 2021, right? So a few months from now, unless you're watching this in the future. And pretty much, you can see here some more fun facts about, the investments and the deals about that. But this is what's interesting is they have Bill Gates as one of the names behind this company. So you can stay here as current Evolv stockholders, including Bill Gates, some more big investments, and then there's also Jeb Bush's firm. So if I do like control F really quick, I just type in Jeb, you can see here that we also have Jeb Bush. So you can see the investors, obviously Bill Gates, like I said, Florida Governor Jeb Bush's firm, and then additional partners here. Now let me actually hop over to their website to show you their product because it's kind of hard to understand unless you've seen it. All right, so here I am on their website, and let me just play this video really quick so you can get an idea of what they do. And I'll just beat it really quick, but basically you see, you walk through it, it's touchless. You can see it right here, this visual of it. And there's more details on their site showing like the behind the scenes where this one of the guy actually walks through. But pretty much if you just have personal items on yourself like phones, earpods, whatever, you can get through. But if you have like a weapon, like you can see here, it'll flag you, and then pretty much you will get inspected, right? And then also they have the back end where you can see the data and all that stuff too. But they don't show it in this video. So let me actually see if I can bring up another video to see what I'm exactly referencing. And it actually shows it in the presentation too. So yeah, I'll just go in the presentation and show you that instead because it'll just be easier. But here's the presentation deck, and you can pretty much go through here. I'm not going to go through all the fine details, but I just want to show you some cool things about them. So here you can see the total addressable markets, 20 bill upwards up to 100 bill plus. Here's a quick evaluation on the team, and they state here for the 1.3 bill pro forma enterprise value, and they state here 2.2x of the 2025 expected revenue, which is essentially about 595 mil, right? And then I can continue down here. There's just some more fun facts about them, which if you want to check them out, feel free. But like here, right? So the main problem that they're trying to solve is if you've been to like a major sporting event, right? Like a football game or anything that requires you to stand in line and go through a metal detector, right? Then it looks like this. You have a bunch of metal detectors, a bunch of guards, humongous lines, and you got to go through it. It beeps. You take your stuff out of your pocket, etc. Here you can see people just walked right through, like just like that, and it's much faster. And they have more details about like how much you save, the speed of everything, and in general, for a consumer standpoint, like this is awesome, right? From a investor business standpoint, there's definitely a lot of things to consider, and there's huge risk factors with this type of business, which I'll share in just a second, but before that, let's just look at some of the other things, right? So here's what I wanted to show you. So you can see this on their video too, some guy demonstrating this. But basically, if there is something you have in your bag or whatever you're carrying that is not supposed to be there, then it will take like a picture and it'll have this little box showing it where on your body that this thing was found. So like for this guy example, you can see he has like a backpack. And if I can zoom in, it'd probably be better to see. And pretty much it's stating, hey, this dude has something in his backpack that he shouldn't have. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's like a weapon or anything, but he could just have like a ginormous cooking pan in there, and that's just not something common that people just carry around. And who knows what could be inside of those things, right? So that's what it looks like. And then the guard which you can see these like tablets here. They would be seeing this and then basically monitoring. There's also some tablets over here too. And pretty much it will stop the person and then say, hey, let me inspect this, etc. So that's essentially the product, what it does. And you can state here, it's 10x faster than metal detectors. And it can screen 3.6K visitors per hour. And it basically uses AI machine learning to figure out if someone has something they shouldn't have or not, right? So here's just some of the brands. You can see the customers. So like, Six Flags. So amusement parks, pretty popular. We got sports teams down here, government, defense, Uber's even down here too, and more additional things. And then you can see some more of like the market opportunity. So, obviously athletic sports, you got, tourist parks, things of that nature, concerts, even businesses, casinos, etc. And then scrolling down here, just a quick snapshot of their team. So if you're interested in that, feel free to pause the video here and, look these people up. And I'm not going to spend too much time in terms of this presentation deck because their product is fairly, I'd say, self-explanatory. But aside from just scanning like items, you can also see like body temperature, right? So like for here, let's say it's, you have something you shouldn't have and you are, you're freaking out. You have your temperature is like well above the normal like humans temp. Then guess what? You can actually show up on their thing and pretty much they could actually stop you for that too. You could just be sick and have a fever. But again, these are just other measures to prevent, potential security risks. And if, for instance, like this thing doesn't get you, but then you see you're like overheating, they might stop you. And then next thing you know it, they actually save something, right? And there's more, obviously, AI, ML, machine learning over time, but also, got data too. And they can see some more about like the actual competitive advantage. And there's some more technical stuff here. But basically here, you can see 10 machines only with 60 guards. It's essentially 11 cents per scan. And then if you have the normal solution, you got 86 machines, 215 guards, 38 cents per scan. So you essentially save money utilizing Evolv. And they state here that you can actually save 600K per year with Evolv Express if you, for instance, are, let's say, a professional sports team. So that's pretty cool to see. And I think from like an investor business perspective, this is pretty dope to see. But just from a general consumer, right? Like if this was just working already perfectly, and depending on where you live, obviously, there's certain locations this is at. But in general, if I see this, like let's say they had this at the airport or anywhere that requires, waiting long times to get through. If you could just walk in, get to your destination or wherever you're trying to do, with literally in less than 5 minutes, maybe, that would be insane. That'd be incredible. And then obviously they have some more details on growth and things of that nature. But I want to show you really quick is the actual numbers too. So let me actually scroll down here. And this is one of the most important parts, right? So revenue. So they state by the 2025, they expected at least 595 mil. And then pretty much gross profit margin, you can see the numbers right here as well. So 2020 didn't look too good. Obviously, quarantine, wasn't the best year for everybody. 2021 looks like they're doing or expecting some much larger numbers. 2022, it starts to increase even more until 2025. So obviously, this company is not making, multi-billions expected. But in general, I think the business model is definitely something that solves a major problem. It makes people's lives better. And overall, I think this business would be awesome to see succeed. So again, from an investing standpoint, though, there's huge risk involved. And they actually state like at the bottom too, some of the risk factors, which if you wanted to go through and read all of them, feel free. And it's like way down here. But just looking at this, right? One is it's a security company. So they basically have to be perfect. They can't mess up or else their whole public image is tarnished, right? So for instance, let's say they screen 10 million people, right? And one person gets through with a malicious weapon or something they shouldn't have and causes some sort of horrific event or something happened that's should have never happened, right? And these were the guys that were behind the security screening. Then guess who's going to be at fault, right? Most likely the company. This one would be, for example, if their thing failed. So that's a huge risk to consider, especially from an investor standpoint. So they basically can't mess up, is what I'm saying. Now, that's something to do with security. That's something that I'd say was risk with any pretty much security company. But, if you look at it from like a more conservative business, let's look at something, for instance, let's say you make cars. And you're expected to make 1,000 cars, you make 900, right? It's not that big of a deal, right? It's not like, something bad happened. You just didn't hit your target goal of 1,000. You're off by 100 cars. You just make it up next time. Here, they really can't mess up. They literally cannot mess up, or else the brand, I think, in my own opinion, would not look good. And then also, I'd say another factor to consider is they are currently, I'd say, in the early stages in terms of the revenues that they're projecting. So, like you can see here, though they're making a few mil here, but like for this, these are big jumps, right? You know, you're seeing a 2 plus X and then 2 plus X again, and then it basically does it every year. So you have to consider that for a company who technically hasn't have a proven record yet. So you definitely have to consider that as well. So if they do end up doing well, they get, you know, bigger deals, lots more people use it, more companies adopt this business, then yeah, they could hit their revenue, they can hit their profits and end up doing really well in the future. But again, you have to consider that if they don't do it, then it would not be good on your end if you decide to invest. But overall, this was just a quick summary on Evolv and the SPAC merger. So let me know your thoughts on what you think about this company. And if you made it this far in the video and you want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, then you can go ahead and click the first link in the description below and sign up for an account. And as long as you deposit $100 minimum or more, you'll be able to receive 2 free stocks valued up to potentially $1,850. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button to see more videos. Give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.